In today's video, I will be showing you how to make a Prophetess Sutana with cape. And I'm shooting this video due to popular demand from you, my subscribers. Prior to this time, I have tons of videos on how to make celestial garments for both male and female, which varies from a standing Sutana cap, brother Sutana, choir cape, cape sister, to mention but few. To get access to those videos, kindly check the description area for the link to the playlist. Remember to like, share, subscribe and leave a comment at the comment section. My name is Bolaji and this is Regi School of Fashion. In making a Prophetess Sutana with cape, the upper part of the Sutana must have been cut out. So I have my cut out, as you can see. So this is the armhole, this is the shoulder line, this is the neckline, and this is the center front and center back, because the front and the back were cut together. So in case you don't know how to make this, kindly check the description area below for the link to the playlist of my celestial garment tutorials. So I have all the videos listed on the playlist. So you will get to know how to construct the upper part of your Sutana. Okay, then you must have picked the dart you have on the bodice, which is the upper part of the Sutana. So you don't need to join the lower part before making your cape. So the cape is together with the upper part. So you have this to be constructed first before attaching the lower parts. After getting the bodice ready, which is the upper part of the Sutana, then the next step is to cut out the cape. Okay, so the measurement I used in cutting this out is just for the sake of this tutorial, so it is not a constant value. So here I have 10.5 inches and I folded my fabrics the same way I folded when I was cutting out the bodies. I folded this into 4 places. I folded vertically and horizontally. This is vertically and I have this horizontally. So this is the center of the front and the back. So now, what are the measurements required in cutting out a 4-corner cape? The 2 basic measurements required are the wideness of the cape and the length of the cape. That is, how long you want the cape to be and how wide you want it to be. Standard wise, the cape usually stops on the empire level, which is also known as the underbust level, and in some cases the wearer might not want it to get to that point. So when you are making this, it is necessary for you to communicate with the wearer. How long do you want this to be? But if the person gives you a go ahead to make a beautiful cape for her, then you can make use of the empire level measurement. So empire level is the measurement taken from the shoulder point downward to the under the bust, except if the wearer requires the cape longer than that. And for the wideness of the cape, this usually stops below the shoulder point. Okay, the shoulder point is where half of the back measurement stops. Now for instance, this is my bodice. So if I place this on the fabric I cut out for the cape, so where the armhole starts at the upper part, which is the shoulder line, is the back measurement. So that is the shoulder point, so which I just marked out. Now from the shoulder point, the standard measurement you can use is between 5 inches and 7 inches. So that is the armhole point. So where the sleeve starts, so that is the point where the sleeve is being attached together with the armhole. So from this point below, the cape will fall about 5 to 7 inches below the shoulder point. So for the fabrics I have here, what I have left is about 3.5 inches. So the standard measurement you can use in cutting out the wideness of the cape is between 5 to 7 inches. Okay, but for accuracy's sake, I will advise you to take this measurement on your client. So how do you take the measurement? The measurement is taken from the nape of the neck, so that is the bone at the back of the neck, as if you are taking measurements for kimono. Then this measurement will go through the shoulder line. You will extend the measuring tape to pass through the shoulder line downward to the shoulder point, which is half of the back measurement. Then you will now extend it downward on the arm. Then you will now ask your client to indicate where she wants the cape to stop. Okay, but if you want to make use of a standard value, you can go for 5 to 7 inches, because it all varies. If you have about 5 sutana with cape together with you, if you notice, the length of each cape cannot be the same, because this has to do with how the wearer wants it to be. So after measuring half of the back measurement, what I have left here is 3.5 inches, as I said. So I'm just using this for the sake of this tutorial. So fold your fabrics into 4 places and make sure you give it a very good press, which will bring out the shape of the shoulder line. And don't forget, no joining on the shoulder line. Anytime you are making a celestial garment, most especially for female, there is no joining on the shoulder line. So no joining on the bodies, and you must not have joining on the cape as well. So I will place this on each other, shoulder line on shoulder line, center on center, like so. So the length I have for the cape here is the empire level length, so which is here. So you can see my fabrics aligned together with the empire level line. Then I will hold the 2 pieces together with my sewing pins. So guys, now I have the bodies and the cape pinned together, as you can see. So the next step is to cut out the neckline area. So that is the only part that is needed to be cut out. Okay, so now before I remove this completely, let me quickly explain this. If you are using the fabric you cut out, which is the bodies, in cutting the cape, and you have your seam allowance added on the neckline already, so you don't need to add another seam allowance on the cape. But if you are making use of your pattern and you don't have your seam allowance on the pattern, don't forget to add your seam allowance on the cape as well. Then for the side of that is the wideness of the cape, after using your measurement, which can either be 5 or 7 inches, or the taking measurement you took on your client, don't forget to add extra at least 1.5 inches as your hem allowance. So you'll be adding 1.5 inches as your hem allowance. And at the lower part, which is the length as well, the measurement I took from here to here is the empire level. So you will need to add extra 1.5 inches as your hem allowance as well. Okay guys, so after cutting this out, I will place a notch on both the bodies and the cape, like so. Then on the neck depth, I will place a notch as well. So as you can see, I did not cut on the armhole. The only part I cut out was the neckline, only the neckline area. Also, for the shape of your cape, make sure you have a perfect measurement. Before cutting out the neckline, whatever you have at the upper part must be the same as what you will be having at the lower part. For example, at the upper part of my cape, in total I have 10.5 inches. Then on the length, which is the lower part, I must have the same 10.5 inches. If the value I have on the upper part is 15 inches, then what I will be having here must be 15 inches as well. So the upper part and the lower part must be equal, while both sides, the center and the opening side, must be equal as well. So whatever you have from here to here must be the same as what you have from this part, which is the center, and the one you have here, vertical to vertical. So you can see I have 12 here, I have 12 here. Then horizontal 10.5, 10.5. Okay, so the two sides must be equal. So after doing this, the next step is to open up the cape and the bodice. Before you open up your cape and the bodice, make sure you place your notches. This is very important. Place your notches on the neck depth and place your notches on the neck width, and the same thing on the upper part of your sutana as well. The neck depth, the neck width, you must place your notches. And at the lower part of the sutana, which is the upper part, I'll place a notch. On the cape as well, the lower part, I'll place a notch. So now I can proceed in opening up my sutana and the cape. Okay, so now I have the bodies opened up. As you can see, I did not pick any darts on my bodies purposely, because I'm just doing this for the sake of the tutorial, just for you guys to know how to attach your cape to a 4-corner sutana. Okay, but make sure you pick your dart first before attaching your cape. You must pick your darts on both the front and the back panels. So after picking your darts, then you'll be able to differentiate from the front and the back. But in my own case, I will just choose one side to be the front and the other side to be the back. So just as I said earlier, our concentration is going to be on the cape. So how to attach your cape together with your sutana. So I will open up my cape and I will indicate the front and the back as well. You don't need to pick a dart on your cape, so there's no need of picking that on the cape. So any part can be the front. You can choose anywhere to be the front or the back, because what we have for the neckline are the same. What I have on the front is what I have on the back.